Welcome back. We begin 5:30 with a look at the impact of Election Day here in Michigan.
Yesterday's elections were largely local and dealt with millage and other revenue issues, and in some cases races for local office, like mayor.
Two of those races for mayor have a broader impact that will change the dynamic in Lansing, at least in the short term. Political reporter Rick Albin has been talking about that possibility, and now that it's a reality, here to talk about what it means for the rest of us, Ray.
And it is a remarkable circumstance. I can't tell you exactly how it's going to play out, but we're going to be talking a lot about how it's going to play out. First of all, what happened last night will change the makeup of the State House this way. There were two mayor's races, one in Warren, one in Westland, that featured Democratic members of the House. Now remember, even though Democrats have ruled unilaterally for much of the session, they had a very thin margin of just 2 votes in the House. So last night, both of these Democrats won their races and will be leaving the legislature when the election results are certified. That means Democrats' ability to pass legislation with only their party's votes no longer exist after those races are certified. So as the House finishes up work today and perhaps tomorrow, the balance of power will shift from a 56-54 to 54-54 logjam in the lower chamber. So that was kind of the impact.
This is a temporary situation, of course.
Right.
So what do you think the longer-term impact is going to be?
Well, it's kind of hard to know, but what we know the next step will be is once those races are certified, I would expect very shortly after that, the governor will call for a special election. Question is, how long is that going to take? Now, remember, absentee ballots have to be sent out about 6 weeks in advance of an election. The first would be a primary. That could happen presumably on or about the same time of the presidential primary in February, and then the general would probably have to be 8 weeks down the road. So that could be maybe April, maybe even in the scheduled May ballot. That is, unless there's some ability to speed up that process. In talking with election officials today, they're not aware of any such loopholes. So theoretically, the House could remain at a 54-54 tie into the second quarter of next year. Now remember, I think they're going to adjourn tomorrow. That would be a long time,
right,
and a tough row for the House.
Practically, though, going forward, what does that mean for the House? How do they operate?
Yeah, this is all speculative now, but I think what's going to happen is the Senate and the House will adjourn tomorrow. They plan to do that anyway, and that will be for the year. Now, there was some speculation that there could be a special session after adjournment. But unless that session was going to deal with something where Democrats could get agreement from Republicans, it would be an effort in futility, because as for the new year, that's anybody's guess. Democrats have been very focused on getting their big priorities done in record time since taking office in January, perhaps partially because this new reality was a possibility as soon as those members got on the ballot. But it doesn't seem logical that the House would stay out of session, you know, for 4 months. That doesn't seem like a real thing. On the other hand, I also don't see what kind of legislation Democrats can partner with Republicans on to fill that time. And one person said today, well, maybe the Senate will just come in and rack up all kinds of legislation just waiting for the House and then send it over. But like I say, it's all speculation. What we know pretty much right now is once they get done tomorrow, it's the last chance they'll have to pass things in the House with just Democratic votes.
All right. Rick, thank you.